Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third night of our catalog launch party. Today is our bundle day, and I hope that you started off with Leslie tonight at 6 p.m. and she was sharing a bundle with you. And tonight I am sharing a bundle with you. I'm actually sharing two bundles. So the bundle I am going to be working with tonight and sharing with you is the Beauty of the Deep bundle. It is a bundle that is found in two places in our catalog. So I'm going to start at the back of the catalog to show you where you can find it. So let me just move this out of the way. So on page 155 in our catalog, right here, you can see that we have the Beauty of the Deep bundle. And it is a bundle that when you buy the dies and the stamp set together, it is discounted 10%. So it is at a discounted price of $52. You also can find this bundle on page 112 in the catalog. And it's right here on this side of the page. Has some great samples that are being shared with it. It's a set that doesn't have any sentiments with it, but there are also other kind of oceany stamp sets that you can use with, use this as a supplemental set with. And of course you can add a sentiment from another stamp set. And I'm going to be showing you that with the second bundle. And so the second bundle that I'm going to be using tonight, and I'm actually only going to be using the stamp set, is Wonderful Thoughts. And Wonderful Thoughts, again, is found in the back of the catalog in the bundle section. If you buy the dies with it and the stamp set, you get 10% off. Again, and let me just look up this price for you. I just had it and I just closed the catalog as we were talking. So this is on page 160. It's down here in the lower corner of the page. And what's really nice about this bundle is that it has dies for all of the different sayings. So instead of fussing cutting out a saying, you can use a die to cut it out. There's also some hearts in it and a floral image, as you might, if you zoom in, you can see it on this sample that you can use with the set as well. So it makes it a little bit more of a value. So this set in the catalog is found on page 41. So it's right here. And you can see that all of the words are highlighted because there is a die for every single word, every single sentiment in this set. It is very similar to the Charming Sentiments that was in the previous catalog. And that is set up the same way. All right, so let's get started. I am going to share a card with you with this set. There's a lot you can do with this set, and I have a couple of samples to share with you as well. I am going to be using some returning colors, and I'm going to be using a new color with this set. So for one of the returning colors, the base of the card, I am going to be using Pretty Peacock. And this is a color that was once an in color and it's now a returning color. So that's pretty exciting. So let me put that aside. And I'm going to be using basic white to do my stamping. So to start with, I am going to do all of my stamping, and I'm going to start with using a color that's been around for a long time. It is Petal Pink. And I am going to be taking this image and I'm going to be stamping it along towards the bottom of the front of my card. There we go. We're done with that image. I'm going to next take a new color. It is the Pecan Pie. It's a really nice brown, kind of a neutral brown, just a really good old-fashioned brown. And I'm going to be taking the sand and I'm going to stamp it along the bottom. I think I'm going to go in 2 layers just to give it a little bit of depth. going right over my images I just stamped. There we go. All set there. With my Pretty Peacock ink, I am going to stamp this sea vine. I'm going to put this all the way over on the left, and I'm going to stamp a couple of them. And I'm going to have them at 2 different heights. And yeah, I think that looks good. I'm going to keep this one out because we're going to also use the greeting. And then let's take the sea urchin, excuse me. It was a long day of teaching today. And I'm going to do something called generation stamping. So I'm going to stamp the image in full color, and then I'm going to stamp off. So this is going to just give us a variety of shades. So I'm going to have a few of them going along here on the bottom and over all the way in the corner. And I think that's good. That looks good. And I use the Berry Burst, which is also a returning in color. Nice to get these colors back. Now, before I add anything else to this background, I'm going to pull in another returning color, Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to use one of our blending brushes. And I'm going to be adding some background color. So I'm going to pick up some ink. I'm going to start off of my paper. And I'm not going to put much pressure on it because I can add ink, can't take it away. So I don't want to add a lot of pressure right here at the beginning. So just do a little bit more as I come in. I'm going to add some different layers of this ink as I'm going along, just to give it more of a ocean-like environment. And I think I like that. Now, the Beauty of the Deep is a cling stamp set. So a cling stamp set, as you just saw, is the red rubber. And you get a great, get great different types of images that you can stamp with that. It also comes with a set of dies. It doesn't come with this magnetic piece. It comes on a piece of paper that it's taped to. But you can see that we can take and cut out different images that we stamp. So this vine, we can stamp, we can just cut out lots of different things. But we also have some images that we can use and cut out other images that can go along with the set. And that's what I'm going to do with this die here. And I'm also going to be cutting out some of the fish that I am going to be stamping in just a minute. So on a separate piece of basic white cardstock, I am going to use the Memento Black ink pad. I'm just going to move some of these things out of the way. And I am going to take and stamp these fish images, excuse me. So I'm using the Memento Black. And I am going to stamp 3 of these images. There we go. To put on the front of my card. So now what I want to show you is how I would go about cutting this. I'm not going to actually cut it for you, but I want to show you how I set this up. So this die has 2 little openings, little tiny circles right here. And when I put this down, I am going to be lining up my die, And what I want to make sure is that these two little circles come over this part of the stamped image. So I can tell when I have done that by moving the die until I see the black ink under it. Okay. When I have it in place, this is one of my go-to stamping products. It's not sold by Stampin' Up, but it's Post-it note tape. So it's the sticky part of a Post-it note. What that allows me to do, because this is a small die, there we go, it's all lined up where I'd want. I am going to use this Post-it note tape to hold that die in place. And then when I'm ready, I can die cut it out and I will get a perfectly die cut image. What I'm going to do with these images is I'm going to take my dark lemon lolly blend and I am going to color in the areas that don't have any color. So I'm going to color in the little bit of the tail, and then I'm going to color in this whiter spot in the middle of the stamped image. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut them out. And as you saw, I have 3 of them already cut out just to save a little bit of time. All right, let's start putting this card together. The only stamping I still need to do is to put my hello on here from the Wonderful Thoughts. But I want to get everything lined up where I want it before I do that. So I have cut out 2 of these corals using the Lost Lagoon cardstock. And I just plan to actually, I might only need 1. Yeah, I think I'm only going to use 1. Because this doesn't have, it has a lot of openings, I'm going to actually use the mono liquid glue. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the glue to the open kind of spaces, not the open spaces, excuse me, the parts of the die that didn't cut. They're not very big. If I used my snail, it would, the adhesive would come up through these openings. So I try to use the adhesive that fits what I am, the object that I am adhering to something. So there we have that. I'm going to use dimensions though for the fish so that they will be standing up a little bit. Well, I don't need the little ones. Let me just get the right size here. Oh, here we go. I go through so many dimensions. It is probably the adhesive I go through the most. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of each of these fish. It's going to pop them up, and as the title says, it's add some dimension to your card. I hope you've been enjoying visiting both Leslie and my pages and our YouTube channels. We've had a great time putting this party together and presenting you with some of our new stamp sets, suites, bundles. And we hope it's inspiring you with the samples we've shared and the projects that we've stamped while we've been on air. Take a moment to like our Facebook pages, follow our Facebook pages, and of course, follow or subscribe to our channel on our YouTube channel. So isn't that just a really nice, pretty top for our card? So the only thing we have left is to stamp our hello. The hello is a tiny little stamp. So let me stamp it up so you can see the ink on it and see the hello. It will fit up here. I can put it I think I'm going to put it up in the upper right hand corner. So there it is. So we have our greeting. And now I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal to adhere it to the front of my card. And then this card is done. This is a very simple card. We could add some bling to it if we wanted. Let me see what I have that might really stand out on this card. I hadn't thought about putting anything on it, but now that it's done, maybe I should. No, I don't think I'm going to add anything. I think I like it just like this. So this is our first sample for tonight. So again, we use the returning color, Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, Berry Burst, and we use the brand new color, Pecan Pie. So there's our first sample. Our second sample, I tried to make a card that was not expected, not using expected colors or even using the stamps in an expected way. I did kind of a collage card, and I used the in color, the copper in color, and I also used the returning blueberry bushel. I think blueberry, let me see, I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry. It is, I got all the new pads right here. So the colors that I used is the copper clay and the blueberry bushel. Yes, it's blueberry bushel. So this card uses the new in color, uses the ribbon from the new in color dots, and then added an accent of the blueberry. For this card, the only new color that I used was the Azure Afternoon. And here I did use that same Wonderful Thoughts, cut out the greeting, and then just put it on some Daffodil Delight. And I'm using the Daffodil Delight in color paper as well. This card here, I used the Azure Afternoon, the Lemon Lolly, and again, I'm using the same sentiment set and used the ribbon here. I also used the score tool and just made some texture here under the sand. And then finally, I think this is I don't know, this might be one of my favorites. I used the pecan and the berry burst. I have some Lost Lagoon on it, and I added a pop of this bright blue with the blueberry bushel and the berry burst with the sea urchin. So those are my samples. So this is, as I said before, the beauty of the deep bundle. Remember, buying a bundle when it's a new set, a new bundle in our catalog, gives you a 10% discount. So I hope you love this set as much as I do, have been inspired by my samples, and I hope you join us tomorrow night when we have our color night. Leslie at 7 will be presenting the new in colors, and I will be at 6 presenting the new colors and the returning colors, or what is known as Stampin' Up's Color Refresh. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of the evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.